Hello again, welcome back. Let's begin it all from the Volta region now. The Municipal Chief Executive of the Whole Central Assembly, Prosper Bansa, is urging the two major stakeholders within the whole market, the store owners and market women associations, to settle their differences in their own interest and for the progress of the Assembly. In an interview with Joy Business, he laments the continuous closure of the newly built market is taking a toll on revenue mobilization for development purposes. Fred Duho visited the market and has filed this report.
The whole central market, completed almost 2 years ago, still remains shut as market women ply their trade under umbrellas at the mercy of the weather. The market, which was expected to open for use, has faced court battles between the Store Owners Association and the Market Women Association. According to the Municipal Chief Executive, Prosper P. Bansa, a continuous closure of the market remains a challenge to revenue generation as the Assembly struggles to meet its revenue targets.
The section of the Association of Market Traders, Shop Owners Association took Assembly to court, and another section also took the market store owners to court. That is the Traders Association. So it's courts handling it, and we cannot do anything about it now. But what I want to say is that it's a revenue source to the Assembly, and for almost 3 years now, Assembly is losing revenue heavily. There was a target for the municipality to meet. So far, we've done just about 80% as at November, and it is affecting it.
He said the issue is currently with the chiefs, who requested the withdrawal of the case from the court for settlement. The MCE appealed with the stakeholders involved to resolve the issue amicably for the progress of the municipality.
The traditional rulers came in and withdrew the case and gave it to a committee to handle. So the case is with them now, and we only pray that the two parties come together. I know they are feeling it. The two parties come together because some of the market women have gone to open the stores and the stores, and they are putting their wares there. So we quickly took actions. We bought padlocks and we have locked majority of them.
The market queen mother and leader of the Market Women Association, Patience Dofenyo, expressed worry over the struggles of her colleagues in the market.
The closure of the market remains an issue of concern to us. We all anticipated a good market environment when we evacuated from our shops to construct a new market. Giving the old stores to the new people will be problematic, and as we speak, some women are still home waiting for the stores to start trading. We are hoping this issue will be resolved quickly for us to trade in a conducive environment.
Until the issues before the chiefs and the courts are resolved, the whole market will remain a white elephant.
Now, visiting Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte says the project signifies the level of cooperation between Ghana and Italy and the commitment to promoting sustainable development. He stated that the Italian government hopes to help train the youth in Ghana and Africa as a whole to become more employable. He urged ENI to continue the good work to ensure that President Akufo-Addo's vision of Ghana beyond aid is achieved.
We see it both as an effective tool for fostering the development of this region and as a way to let Ghanaian youth express their skills in their home country and to actively contribute to their nation's prosperity. This is the pilot phase of a broader initiative that has the ambition to be. Therefore, I deeply encourage Eni to continue on this path, and I can assure the support of the Italian government in this challenge. Education and vocational training are actually priority drivers in the economic elite of Africa. They can provide people, and especially youth, with the knowledge, skills.
Sincerely apologize for that frozen picture there. Now, some businesses within the Ashanti region believed to be engaging in under-invoicing and perpetrating some nefarious activities are being exposed by the Ghana Revenue Authority's task force under its distress action. The move is part of the Revenue Collections Agency's tax compliance exercise to encourage voluntary tax payment and address the issue of tax evasion. Officials believe this will help rake in more revenue to facilitate government projects and the economy as a whole. Let's hear from the coordinator of the GRE task force, Henry Sam.
He paid 17,000 and then he reported 5,770. Look at the difference. I don't know, the tax was based on the 5,775, a lot on the 17,000. That was what was. What's about pay 200? 2,000. Wait, 2 streets. Wait, 260 Ghana. Now, 260 per head. Per head be 20 Ghana or 2 cities. Exactly. Office of the President. They have been doing some due diligence to conduct surveillance on some businesses across the country that are not complying with the tax laws. Specifically speaking, we have information from the counter-intelligence unit that these businesses we are talking about are suppressing sales in the VAT invoice and invariably also succeed in under-declaring taxes due the state. How do they do it? If you look at the VAT invoice booklets, the leaflets are in triplicate. The original is supposed to be given to the customer on purchasing a taxable supply. The duplicate and triplicate copies are to be retained for tax audit purposes. These invoices or leaflets are self-carbonated. So when you issue the original copy to the customer, the trades or the transactions that have been carried out in the original should have the same content as the duplicate and triplicate copies. From the intelligence that we obtained from the Office of the President as a counter-intelligence unit, these businesses succeed in either suppressing the quantities or the unit price or both with a view to evade payment of lawful taxes due the state. Pursuant to Section 41 of the VAT Act, 2013 Act 870, it requires that businesses that carry out taxable activity upon making taxable supplies should issue to the customer a receipt that has been prescribed by the Commissioner General, and the receipt is the VAT invoice. The VAT invoice value, which is the original, should be given to the taxpayer, and same should reflect in the duplicate and triplicate copies. This compliance method is a way to ensure that the taxpayer accounts for every tax revenue to the state. But anything short of that will amount to infraction. Payment of taxes has not been easy since time immemorial.
Well, so let's touch base now with our man Prince Appiah in Kumasi, who has been following the team for some updates. Prince, you're welcome to the market, please.
Thank you very much, Mark.
All right, so can you give us an update of what actually happened today? Where did you go first and where are you now?
Okay, so we visited a number of manufacturing warehouses in the Ashanti region. We went as far as Anua Panta, which is getting out of Kumasi proper. We visited a number of warehouses and companies, some of them owned by Chinese nationals. And the worrying thing is that most of these companies had two separate receipts, a duplicate and the original receipt. And the product that they are selling, one, for instance, was selling an engine for 1,650 on the original receipt. And on the duplicate, they are written 330 Ghana cedis, which meant that there was a huge variation in the prices. And the officials indicated that these company owners present the duplicate receipt, which had 330 Ghana cedis, to the officials for the tax to be calculated on it. And they believe that this is so much shortchanging the government, and as a result, they decided to embark on this exercise. They describe that as tax suppression, which is really affecting the revenue collection agency and the revenue collection of the country.
All right. So, what was the response from the culprits? I mean, after their arrest or the clampdown, what exactly did they say?
Interestingly, all those business owners who were arrested in this particular exercise had nothing to say. They were unable to defend themselves in any way. All they had to do was to keep quiet and follow the officials. I should say that all these individuals who have been arrested have been sent to the police station, the Anywa Kwanta police station, where they've been asked to write their statement. And fortunately, at some of the point, we had people who had come to buy some of their product, and there was evidence that the amount of product they have bought and then the amount that have been written on the receipt were not in parity. So as a result, these individuals also accompanied officials to the police station to write their statement as accomplices to help with the investigation. So that is what happened in Ashanti with the GR task force.
All right, so has the exercise ended for today, or it will be continued tomorrow?
As I speak to you, it is ongoing. It has not ended. And from the time we left them around 12, they have done 5 different warehouses, and they are continuing. The exercise will continue to about 5 p.m. Before they end and go back to Accra. But they tell us that it's going to be replicated nationwide and unannounced, I should say. So the businesses should watch out.
Many thanks for that update. Prince Appiah reaching us live via Skype from Kumasi, bringing us updates of the GRA's clampdown exercise. Let's turn our attention to other stories now. The Institution of Engineering and Technology Ghana says unwillingness of corporate bodies to recognize its contribution is counterproductive. Vice President Richard Omari Safo observes many organizations are reluctant to pay members professional allowances, leaving them frustrated. He was speaking at the 33rd Annual General Meeting in Kumasi.
Omari Safo says in many cases, members, after helping the growth of many organizations, are denied benefits such as promotion.
Our fees. You realize that we belong to professional institutions, which our employers always look forward that you belong to such an institution before you even is elevated in terms of promotion to climb the ladder in your organization. But with some of the sectors, the organizations are not ready to pay the allowances they are supposed to pay as professionals to us. Even though we belong to professional institutions, we acquire the knowledge that needs to lift the works and the image and the practices of the organizations. That inures to their benefit, yet we don't benefit anything as professionals.
This year's meeting is under the theme, TVET, the industrial backbone of the economy. President Eric Atasono believes effective implementation of government developmental agenda, such as one district, one factory, is not possible without effective TVET. The institution, recognizing the contribution of women, has instituted the Women in Engineering. Mr. Sono believes the move will attract more women to the institution.
This was in line with the appreciable increase of women in the field of IET and the need to give them a force to enable them attract many more women as well as play the required roles within the institution. Thus, in June 2019,
Reporter for JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
It's live on the marketplace with me, Emmanuel Apuaji. Let's do other stories now. Ghana's financial sector since August 2017 has experienced a wave of reforms, particularly with the banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions. This has resulted in a number of institutions having their licenses revoked. The latest Afrobarometer survey by the Center for Democratic Development, CDD, shows that in spite of the recent shake-up, banks are the most trusted financial institutions, followed by mobile money services. In-house researcher Philip Namfuri joins me to help explain if, per the report, confidence has returned into the banking sector. All right, so Philip, you're welcome.
Emmanuel, yeah, thank you very much.
So what exactly does the report say about the financial sector?
Fantastic. So CDD's Afrobarometer survey, similar to what we've discussed this morning, with the one talking about what direction the economy is heading into. This one looks at the banking sector or the financial sector specifically. And if you see here, the first, let me say, graph or bar graph talks about confidence in the financial institutions. And this looks at all the 2,400 respondents that were surveyed. And you see that at the top of it is banks. So 58% of the respondents surveyed believe or feel that banks are very safe. And you have a very meager 7% feeling that banks are not safe at all. Then you come down to mobile money wallets, which was number 2, if you go through the fine details of the report. And 36% of the respondents are saying that their funds whatsoever are very safe in financial institutions. And you see a meager 10% also feel not at all safe. Then it comes down to a very low number that believe that their funds are very safe at home. Wow. Then we come down to savings and loans, we come down to microfinance, and you come down to traditional susu collectors. So you see that despite of all the turmoil that was going on in the financial sector, you realize that from the people surveyed, banks still hold sway in the financial system. However, mobile money has caught on. But let me introduce something interesting here. Mobile money accounts and balances sit in the banks. So more or less, it's all got to do with this. But yeah.
Yeah, but that's interesting. You know, the category that says 11% keep their monies at home. This is indication that government's financial inclusion agenda is not actually...
No, not keep at home. Believe their funds are very safe at home. So you see that it's a marked drop from the 50% who still believe that their funds are very safe in the financial institution. And the key word here is very safe. Right. Then it comes to the mobile money wallet, and then 11 for the at home. So you realize that just introducing our own personal bias here, or my own personal bias, if you're keeping your money at home, it's not very wise because of the very, very negative effects that come with it. So it's still important to keep it.
So can we conclude that enough confidence is being restored into the banking sector after the shift?
I would stay clear of that. We can't conclude that enough, but given the reforms that have gone on, some level of confidence has been introduced. And if you look at what the report is saying, but you see, views are very mixed when it comes to the financial sector. This is just confidence by location. So you look at rural-urban split, and you see that in the rural areas, more of the respondents, or most of the respondents, believe that banks are, for lack of a better word, very safe. And then, so you see that more people in the rural areas believe banks are safe as compared to the urban areas.
Could it be because they might not have had a lot of information, or they might not have understood exactly what actually took place within the sector?
I believe that's a very good point. If you delve into the report, it's not specifically stated in there, but you see that the spread when it comes to rural-urban. There's also one that talks about men versus women, and that's way below in the report, and it shows the split between how men and women believe that the financial sector confidence is being brought back. If we can scroll down further and show exactly that last one. But there's an interesting point in that last one. And it talks about how men and women. So by gender. And look at this one. For traditional institutions, Emmanuel, you realize that women have more confidence in them than men. And this ties in well with when you're looking at microfinance as a financial concept. You realize that women even benefit more from microfinance than men do. And you see that here, women really believe, if you look at microfinance companies, there's a split, 31% for men and women. When you come to banks also, there's also the same thing. 83% of women believe banks are very safe, and 80% of men surveyed also believe that banks are very safe. There's one more I'll just throw in before we leave. And older people, I'll just chip in, maybe your generation perhaps.
Come on.
Believe mobile money wallets are not very safe.
Okay.
As compared to the young ones like myself.
So we believe the traditional system.
The traditional system.
Conventional banking
exactly.
system. Thank you very much,
yes.
Philip Namfoli, for that update. Meanwhile, majority of Ghanaians in the latest CDD Afrobarometer report say the economy is heading towards a wrong direction. The survey sampled about 2,400 Ghanaians in the country. Dr. Kojo Asante is a director at CDD Ghana and has been speaking to Joy Business.
This is an Afrobarometer question that always, I think, confound everybody. Whether Ghanaians are internal optimists, we don't know. But every time they say they evaluate the economy as either going in the wrong direction or the country going in the wrong direction, if you ask them that in the next 12 months, do they believe that things will get better, they're always positive. So that's a good thing, because it means that people are not fatalistic about current situation. They expect that something good might happen. You know that with perception survey, it's very difficult to dig deep into what directs. We have done analysis before to see if religion is a driver, but none of those things are proving so. So it's still, for me, I'm always confounded by that particular finding.
For policymakers, and looking at how widespread this survey was, what are you expecting to be their response? Is it in terms of policy response, in terms of ensuring that they have to tweak things a little bit to ensure that confidence pick up? Because when you have confidence, then again, your response in terms of tax measures and all the rest will change.
There were many findings that for me, I think it raises some interesting questions about government policy. So if you get the findings on whether how government is doing on reducing the income gap, how government is doing on employment, for instance, and so on, which are all poor ratings, is it that government policy is yet to translate into sort of the kind of benefits that we expect, or the policy design or the policy implementation itself has to be looked at again, or, I mean, there are many things that we know government is trying to do to address, economy issues, social issues, and so on. Why is it not being felt? And is it just a question of time, giving it time? Or we have to look at the policy themselves. So these are still, I think these are, for me, very useful debates.
And that'll be it for the marketplace today.